Hey, I finally saw you in the opening there. I've been looking for you all these years,
Oh, really? I'm
months.
on the front row there talking to
You're in
Craig.
the front row. I was looking in the wrong front rows. It's like the second to last front row, and I kept looking for you. But I saw you're turning away, facing somebody or something.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
conversation.
I think I was having a chat with Craig whilst the
Okay.
beginning of it was going on, and then of course the cameraman comes across right then, like I wasn't paying attention. I was. I knew what was happening.
Yeah, yeah. You're a bit quiet to me. I don't know if you're a bit quiet to the audience, but it could just be me.
I will check my mic settings.
Okay.
Is that any better?
How's the audience here? Yeah, is that better, audience? It's better to me, so hopefully
Yeah.
it's good to the audience again.
Let's
Yes.
go with that.
Do you like my new digs? Literally digs. I'm underground. This is my secret underground bunker. Finally.
We have a heat wave here in the UK, so
Yes,
I have an air conditioning unit going. I've got headphones on, so I can hear it super loud. So I do apologise if there's like a hum on the audio, but I'm not turning it off. It's too hot.
Yeah.
It's too hot.
Too hot, like, too hot, baby. Oh, there goes the needle drop problem. All right.
Where is it?
Yeah. Is there a? You looking for?
It's 100 Fahrenheit here.
Oh, owie, owie, ow! 3-digit temperatures here are rare, but when they're there, they're definitely hot.
38 degrees, I think. Between 36 and 38, so it's like it varies depending on exactly you are. But as soon as you're in a room with a computer and everything else, of course.
Yes. Yes. I spent a summer, which is the wrong time of year, working in Phoenix, so I know what hot is. Yes. I would have to get up. In the morning about 6 a.m. so it wasn't so hot just to drive the 3 miles to work. And then there was a sequence of windows down, go for the next mile, windows up, AC on, recirculate for the next mile, then AC on, non-recirculate for the final mile. And then you had to figure out if you were going to leave midday or the end of the day, because that decided which direction you park when you face, because you don't want the sun on your steering wheel when you're about ready to leave. So that depended on what time of day.
I was making a joke earlier that people that without AC here are going to be spending the entire day in their car just circling.
Yeah. Yeah. Or looking for one of those misting. Well, that's one of the things I like about the fact that I do most of my work sitting in restaurants, so I can always have air conditioning because I'm going to be wherever they're going to be.
You know those films where you've kind of got like the Earth being taken over by aliens. Everyone's just looking up into the sky, just standing there, like the entire world is just standing still, looking up in the air. Or something.
Yeah.
Imagine all these Brits just standing around in supermarkets, cooling off.
It definitely fits.
That's what people doing now. Just going into these businesses where they have to keep it cool and just be like,
yes. And this won't make sense to any non-U.S. people. Well, maybe it will if you translate it for you. I remember then one of the afternoons in Phoenix, I was driving out to lunch, and on my way back, they used to have these time and temperature boards on banks. So they would have like the time of day, and it would alternate with the temperature. And it switched back and forth from 112 in the afternoon to 112 degrees. And so the colon just kept flashing in and out because that was the only thing that was different between the two numbers. And I go, I'm not sticking around for 3 o'clock. Water is going to be boiling. Anyway, yes, we could probably introduce ourselves. People know who we were.
Yeah, we should probably do that. I'm sure everyone knows who we are.
Yeah, right now. And do's and don'ts and stuff.
Let's just do this. Yeah. So my name's Sam Lightfoot, Flutter Community Leader, CTO of Dev Angels London. You can follow me on Twitter and other places at Dev Angels London. Randall.
Hey, I'm Randall Schwartz. I am a Dart and Flutter Google developer expert, although there's no longer two separate categories. They folded Dart finally into Flutter when they figured out there was only one person that was Dart but not Flutter. Just one. I want to talk to that person. I want to know why they got just Dart and how they did that. Dart is, of course, useful without Flutter, but not as useful, I would say, if you don't include Flutter in your repertoire. And I'm just rambling now. I am the question magician for this show, which means I'm watching the chat for a Q colon in front of a statement, and I'm flagging them so that Simon and I can discuss them in the order received. If you ask the same question twice, you lose your place in the line. Don't do that. I think that's about it. Okay. And Danielle can't be here today.
And Danielle, John, and Matt can't make it today. So
yep, they all bailed on us. So it's the Randall and Simon show. Simon and Randall show. Sorry. Yeah. Got that in the wrong order.
Don't be nice. Don't be idiots. Don't advertise or anything. We just said a bunch of this stuff. You know the rules.
Yep.
And if you want to share something, you can go over to just.new, pop in the description, name your file.dart with a lovely syntax highlight, post your code snippet or your GitHub repo link or whatever else you want to share in there, and then send into the chat the hash from the URL once you post it. That's the only way we get to see it, because if you post a link in a message, we don't get to see the time message and anything. So that's that. All right, that's the usual.
Wait, there we go. All right. The stupid streamer interface. I'm about to click on a star, and the whole screen jumps up because somebody else said something. It's like it's bad. Yeah.
Someone said, "Are we supposed to be seeing your video?"
Yeah.
You should be seeing us right now. In fact, I confirmed on YouTube it is there.
It was when you were full screen, and I actually said that in the next statement. Yeah. So when we're full screen, you don't see us unless we put ourselves down in a little corner or something. We can do that too.
So
but for the do's and don'ts and stuff, it's typically we vacate the premises for a second. Yeah.
We have what was the Imogen? The Imogen is shut down, hasn't it? Is it?
Imogen.
Yeah. So
yes. The link for that is in our Slack chat.
Trying to find it right in a second.
It's in the thread. It's almost all the way to the end of it's in the middle of the thread now.
Sorry. Harry, and I'll get up the screen.
And so both Simon and I have noise problems today because I've got construction happening right behind me here, and my audio filter should take out most of that. Still says Randall's louder than Simon. I wonder if you're still tuned down a little bit, or maybe you're just talking away from the mic or something.
Let me bring the mic closer for a bit. How's that?
That sounds better to me. Let's see how the audience reacts. We've got a few questions already too, though, so we can actually we can talk about so you're still finding the article. Okay. That's really loud to me now, but now I'll put my volume back there. We go. All right, I like it.
I'll make some slight adjustments. How's that?
Yes.
I know. We'll stick with this, and then we'll see where we get to. But
yeah, it sounds good to me.
Thank you.
Ship it.
Right. Very good.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was this, wasn't it? It was.
Yeah. This is this is a problem if you were using one of the earliest image creation models. This is back before they used Gemini as the base. This was using the older, I forget what the language model was, but this is when the ones that use Gemini as a base are like Nano Banana Pro, Nano Banana 2, and that's what you're supposed to have switched over to by yesterday. Or is it today? Today.
Okay, so basically you just need to change the model name. But surely they gave you more than 48 hours notice.
No, this has been announced for like 3 months.
Yeah, okay, well there you go. This is it's a bit hyperbole then, isn't it? Like 48 hours before.
Well, that's when he posted the article on Monday.
but yeah, no, it's good.
You have 48 hours if this was the first knowledge you had of this. Now you've got 0 hours because it's already probably returning 404s.
So
it's a little more than just changing the model name, though. If you look down, there's a different way you peel the image back out of a payload that comes back from Nano Banana. So there actually is some code changing that has to happen. I think it gets to it towards the end. What you have to migrate to, but there's a different. You don't use like the
So before it's basically for encoded bytes. Yeah. And now you're going to need to get all the parts of the image, The first part
Yeah.
of inline data, and then get those files.
Yep. So this is non-trivial change. It's not just changing the model name. You have to change the protocol that you're using. And
This is a
sad
great
for people
example.
that. Yeah, go ahead. That's probably the same thing
No,
that I was going to do.
I was about to say this is probably the best thing about this is a good example here of why you want that remote code update ability, right? From that
Oh,
Flutter you're pushing
Shorebird.
for, and that Shorebird does.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah. Yeah. But this is going to catch people, off guard. People that have been pushing and really being like bleeding edge with AI, and they've already shipped products that use Imagen, which is, there's probably tens of thousands, if not millions of them, apps already that are using old AI models now. So how do you fix this, and how do you fix it quickly? And who's running around scrambling today? Chime in if you're in this problem. But that's also a more general problem with AI models. You really need to think about the fact that AI models are getting sunsetted all the time. Doesn't matter whether you're using Google's models or any of the other competitors. They're still rolling stuff away at certain phases. I think it's because, well, I'm just guessing, but I don't have any inside information on that. That it's because they have to dedicate machines to a model, because you don't want to be constantly swapping the programming in and out on the machine. So you kind of have to do capacity planning based on the variety of models you're offering through the API. I don't know for a fact, but I'm guessing, and I've been in the industry for a few years, so I kind of know how capacity planning has to work from time to time. But that's probably why it's doing that. Luckily, I didn't have any products out with any of my clients that had gotten all the way to the point where they were shipping with Imagen. So I think we're okay.
slightly concerning. I can smell something burning, but I think it might be a barbecue outside. Somehow.
Oh no! Oh no!
I'm like,
It's not. It's not this. Do you see a giant You see a giant magnifying glass above you?
No,
I mean, maybe somebody's holding up a giant magnifying glass and shining the sun directly on a focused beam. Oh, and he's gone. Yep, magnifier got to him. Oh, okay. Well, we do have some questions. The one question I think I can handle while Simon's still coming back, which is Tigran asks, why keep developing in Flutter when AI is advancing so fast? And as we just saw an example of that moments ago. Theoretically, if a developer builds an app in Swift or Kotlin for one platform, AI could easily generate the version for the other. Now, I answered this in chat already, and I'm sure Simon would agree with the answer, which is once you start using AI to convert from one language and framework to another, you've essentially doubled your load. You're going to have twice as many tokens to keep it up to date in both versions. I mean, you're debugging twice. It's all the same. I mean, so you're not using grace matter to do the conversions or to keep it in sync. You're still burning something. You're probably burning that stuff over at Simon's place, but you're burning something to keep those in sync and to keep both code bases updated. Just have one code base. That's what Flutter's for.
I mean, I was just going to say that I don't think what has Flutter and AI got to do with it? I mean, it doesn't. Just because you can generate AI doesn't dissuade any of the Flutter's features or responsibilities or of its other bits and pieces, right? So,
right.
Yeah.
You'll be paying a lot. Yeah. Go ahead. I was just going to say you'll be paying a much higher token cost if you maintain two code bases. Just there's no way around it.
Maintaining a two code base is just one minor thing that Flutter does, right? Like the hot reload stuff, especially when using AI, it's brilliant. Like I make this change, okay, now I can see it. Okay, now make this other change, now I can see it. It's like the perfect joining of two things. I mean, so if anything, most people should be moving to Flutter and using AI, right? That's another way of looking at it. So, yeah. But
for that, yeah,
it is
okay.
interesting. There you go.
All right, let's go to this next one. We have a request for live coding for a Go router generator with some less trivial navigations, bottom nav tabs with tabs within various. You know what we should do is look at Kaizel. Stop promoting Go router. Look at Kaizel, the new one, the new router. Yeah. Oh, you weren't. Oh, we talked about it last week on the show. You didn't watch the show? You didn't watch the show that you weren't hosting. Okay.
I really wish I did, but I didn't have time.
Okay.
How'd you spell it?
It's Heisel. No, Kaizel. Kaizel. I think it's something like that. This was talked about in Insiders. That's where I originally saw it.
Kaisel.
SEO. Yes. Oh, Collie's got it. Callie, come on the show.
Sealed routes, pattern matching, stacker state model, no string paths, no code gen. Mm-hmm. That's nice. So we have a look. I know you went over this last week. Share it and talk about it.
Yeah.
Callie.
Yeah.
Okay. We can come on the show, you know. Right. Share. Swap this one around. A bit of this and a bit of that. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, 20. It's gone up one from yesterday or last week. Yeah, published 2 days ago. Cool.
Okay.
So the primary difference that's fundamentally at the core of this is that rather than using URLs as your primary way of thinking about routes, you're using constructed objects as your routes. And the constructed objects.
Literally, my very first talk at FlutterCon 2019 was exactly this. And you can already do this.
Probably inspired this. You inspired this, I'm sure.
No,
in a long way around.
That this isn't new. You can already do this. That's exactly what the route object in Flutter is. Like it is.
Yes.
What am I missing here? Because like I'm not seeing the whole point of having the string routes is for compatibility with push notifications and other things, right? So
exactly. And so this router, unlike Go router, uses the route objects as the primary route source of truth. And those now, thanks to Dart 3, can belong in sealed classes. So we can do enumeration on switches and stuff. Yeah.
I mean, we were talking about some of the stuff before, like when we talk about navigation. It's like,
right.
I mean, this is the same thing about any third-party library. Like you have to think about what is it that you're trying to achieve, and is it that complicated that you need to have a library, right? I don't know. I think it's definitely a point on which you're like, hang on a second. But let's have a look here. Type round stack, sure. Nice. You can share routes. Kind of fun. There's an interesting one, which is a route which is I think all the route systems don't quite get nicely. They do the builder pattern, but it's that one where let's say, for example, you've got a deep link to product details, right? So you've got product SKU like this, right? Product / SKU or whatever, right? Yep. And when you go to that route based on a deep link, you kind of want to go look up that product based on the ID, see if it exists, then pass that model object to that product that you need to use to render the page to that page to like display it, right?
Right.
If you're coming from, let's say, a category inside your app, which already has the products, it just pushes that model object as an extra or whatever, so that the new page instantly has the model it can instantly render, no loading necessary.
Yeah.
So you kind of want these routes that have the option of both asynchronous and synchronous approaches, where if you've already got the data, it uses that, but it can also go refresh that data and everything else. And you've also got this idea that if you don't already have it, you're coming from, let's say, a deep link, there's an ability to go look it up and retrieve that data to display. And I feel like it's a very common pattern.
I think you'll see that the way I think you'll see it the way they did codecs here. So they've got codec, CODEC, codecs to go to and from URIs when needed. But you don't even have to create that codec if you don't need it. Like if it's all in just internal navigation.
Yeah.
But what you'll see is in the codec from URI to object, you could have the lookup table case if it's a particular route and so on, because you're calling the constructor for the route, and that can take the right parameters.
See, there's an advantage and a disadvantage to kind of this thing, right? Because I look at this and go, this was always the thing when I saw the route table for string to like widget, right? And I'm like, well, why is that? Why do we just like declare that as a function in our route that just builds it, right? Like you can already do like page route builder or your own custom route that has a build function that does that. And I think the only thing I can see the advantage to this is it provides glue logic. So if you've got something, if this was in like inline in a build, then you could have some sort of state from context being passed into when you build a screen. In this situation, it doesn't do that because it's a config. So I kind of feel like this is probably like you shouldn't need to have a builder if each of these app routes had like a build function on them that just returned the widget, right? Because if you're declaring an object, then it might as well have it.
I think this allows for having sort of more flexible URI to route mapping, though, because if you have to know something about where you're going in order to figure out whether that's eligible for being part of the switch or part of what you're switching on, I think you're getting into a chicken and egg problem there. And I think this has actually solved it pretty close to how you really want it to work. I agree that there's some clumsiness because it was sort of at a distance here now, but you probably could enforce a local house style that says that every class that's ultimately a screen also has a route builder for it, and you take advantage of that in this layout. So yeah, the guards are, so you list one or more guards for a route and it will run those in sequence, and they can either modify the stack or pass the stack through as is based on state conditions. That's a pretty good design for guards.
Well, this isn't the whole. I mean, this is the whole stack, right? Nice. Okay, so you can replace the entire stack with login. Okay.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's because it has the whole stack for each of the steps.
I wonder about that scenario where you log in. Let's say you got a deep link to, let's just say the product page, but you need to log in to see it. So we redirect to the login screen. You log in, and then you want to take them back to the page that they were deep linked to.
You would probably have to have an extra parameter in the constructor. You'd have to have a parameter in the constructor so it could add the link to link you back.
Yeah, well, this is what I was going to say. Like, you could pass over the proposed stack into login, and then on the transition away, you can then say, okay, case will go to this stack, and so you go back to the original stack.
Yeah, there's probably lots of flexibility here. You're basically exposing the whole Navigator 2 routing stack, and I think in a fairly Dart 3 compatible way, because he's using a lot of the switches and lots of the fact that there are nested classes and stuff.
So it looks interesting. It's very much what we've already been describing.
Mm-hmm. I think this has a potential of replacing GoRouter if we keep talking about it long enough. It also handles sub routes fully within a package, so you can have your daughter route mount on the parent router and put it all in a package on its own, so it doesn't have to be involved with the.
I wonder if this does. Nested routers.
Yes, it does all that really nicely, apparently. Yeah, Richard's got this right. Yes, there we go.
So
the next invite should go to custom. Yeah.
Well, we're not. Yeah. We're just looking at it as an alternative.
Yep.
And the thing is, like all of these, I think we said this before, like use wherever you like, right? Use wherever you like, whatever package or whatever you feel comfortable.
Right.
I don't think that there's
Right.
a particular like one that we say this is the one you should go for. But, we can say the ones we like, you know. If we like this one over Go Router, then we like this one over Go Router. I haven't used it yet, so I'm not gonna.
Yep.
It looks interesting. I mean, this is the thing is, to me, this is what you could do this anyway. I'm not seeing the exact benefit right now because you can do a sealed class call. You could do your own sealed class call. What was it? Like your base class like this that extends page, the existing page infrastructure. Then have that, you know, have your own implementations of, you know, like page just like this. This gives you sealed classes. And then all you need to do in this case is to maybe do, I'm not saying all this functionality, right? So I don't know what it has, right? But then like you can switch on page, right? That's the whole point of the settings. You already get that with the page route builder. So I might also like, well, that kind of replaces this. So I'm trying to like this is a nice coherent way of doing it. I do like the way that, you know, okay, look, go get the home router or the app. Okay, so these are the nested routes you're talking about. You can push onto that route. No, why are we doing? Because this is about because of the shell navigator, right? Yeah. So we have our app route, which is the top level, and the home route being this shell router. Sorry. Okay, that's nice. See, that's nice. So one of the things that that's always suggested. In fact, I did this in my talk. Was that, you know, we've got the pages API, we've got the router API, and the router API was always supposed to be. There's actually a widget called router that has always been the one that is supposed to do nested routes. Yet no one really has done that nicely that I found. You know, so this is
Take a look at.
the
Yeah.
router, and router itself is a widget. So the idea here is that inside Material App, it actually uses router and provides the router delegate, which you can get the configuration from if it implements the interface or whatever. It's like router config. But the point here being that this now gives you what originally was a navigator in effect, right? So this is a widget that you can drop in. I mean, this manages the routing for a scope, and then you have still have a navigator which links up to a router, right? Yeah, router with config in two different ways. And then I think navigator goes up the stack. If I'm right, I'm trying to remember that. Yeah, pages API, navigator APIs. This is the new API. Yeah, when using the router widget. Yeah. There you go. Look, passes route information type, data type T, and then converts that into a page object that passes to a navigator. The navigator, which itself is what does all the display of the widgets and everything else. I don't know. Anyway, all right. So back to Queso. Okay, so there's a way of looking up different routers. Push for result.
Oh, Mr. Verdant has got a comment on what you were saying earlier. Last week, I was suggesting passing the build context to the route that's currently evaluating the guards. The devs can access injected instances there. I'm sure there's probably an issue for that already, or a pull request even.
I suggested pass the build context of the route that's currently evaluating the guard. Yeah, I mean, here's the problem, right? So, well, it's not a problem, but it's something that you have to overcome yourself. Let me just go. So for what we're just talking about here, well, I think what we're trying to get here is when you want to. Sorry, I'm just trying to find a bit example. Here, the guard. So a guard itself is a function, but the router here when you build this router, you need to build it during like a stateful widget, right? Because if you wanted the auth guard to access something from context to use provider or something else, then you need to be able to pass that into this function, right? And then inside here, you can then access your auth state or whatever it is. In this case, they're passing over this, this idea of a auth notifier, and then that can be got from someone else. But still, you need to have the inputs to your functionality. And I think this comes back to what I was saying with the constructors. Like you might have some sort of repository for get a product. Does the screen get it, or do you have the router that passes it, inject it in? And it depends on the structure.
There's and Mr. Verdant's following up here. Read different auth notifiers injected in different levels of the widget tree. Yeah, so if there was like some sort of tree location based authentication or state.
Yes, I like that. I'm also going to say, like,
scary.
It's one of those things where you just said build context, and we've seen this before. Which build context is that? Where's that build context mounted? You don't know any of that stuff, right? So the whole idea of saying that is that it's the idea of having a build context. It's scoped to where you're evaluating at this moment during build. So if your code has not been evaluated during build, you kind of shouldn't be using context then, right? Okay, I mean, look, interesting enough. So I can see this. So run to get. Let's get a result. Confirm add to car. This is a route that implements a modal route to return an integer. And I guess that route then does pop with integer. So this is another thing that's always like annoyed me with the and something that's always annoyed me with the existing navigate structure is that kind of that typing for pop and push for the navigation. They say I'm pushing to retrieve an integer or some sort of model object from whatever that route's doing or that dialogue, whatever. But inside that dialogue, they could pop whatever they want, right? Like they don't have it's not fixed to an integer, right? Because the widget for a screen is not necessarily linked to a route, right? Like a widget doesn't have to exist in a route that has a certain type of response, and that kind of loose coupling is where it comes down.
I think that's where some of this is being solved. I haven't looked at the details of that too much, but
I mean, I see like this kind of notion of what they're saying here. Like you can like a complete float integer, but again, like what I'm trying to say is this like the current when we do pop, the type is declared by the function, not by the route that you're in.
Yeah,
is my point. And I think that's where the problem always lies, right? That there should be a type safety there that is not there. It's dynamically chosen by the way you run it, not by. And again, it's down to the dialogue to when it starts up to go, okay, was I started up in a route that declares this particular type parameter, or I feel like there's something missing there, some glue that's missing. That, yeah, it's definitely a point that can break in apps. That
yeah, and that's an important point too. How it gets along with the primary and secondary navigation. Yeah, I don't know. There was some discussion of that in the doc.
So I was going to say, let's have a quick scooch at the API reference, and also,
yeah, and like I was saying in the chat, this is still early on.
Oh yeah,
I wanted to get people interested in it because I think
to be clear here, we're not criticizing, the code. I mean, like, whenever we do this, like
Okay.
I hear people that say like they take oh I lost them. But people can take code as if it's like review as if it's personal to them because they may personally make the code, right? Which I think is problem. Sorry, I'll say that again for you, Brandon, to jump down. People, whenever you review code, can take it personally or they can take it constructively.
Mhm.
And it's hard not to take it personally, I know, because you're the one that came up with code that did it, that built it, and everything else. But at the same time, if you want to improve as a developer, you better get some thick skin because you know you need to understand that any sort of response, like there's no right way of doing anything. There's opinions, and all those opinions come with pros and cons, right? Like as to why some person might think it's better than another thing. But yeah. Anyway, I digress. What was it saying? Animation, right?
Yeah.
And I don't just realize I'm not seeing anything page wrapper. That's a page object. Oh, okay. So I wonder if this is using. So this is still using standard routing and pages
Yeah.
that exist in Flutter. It's just a layer on top of that.
It's just the interface, right? This is like going from inherited widget to provider finally, or something like that, where we're building on top of the infrastructure that's already there.
So in theory, you've not got a problem with transitions because you can use Material Apps theme transition builder.
Oh,
Um, architecture API. Architecting APIs is quite complex. I mean, in general, like, I mean, just architecting code is difficult. APIs are difficult because you're normally you're guessing at how your product is going to be used based on your consumption of that, of what you want. We may not be what someone else wants from something. And then on top of that, so you need to then say, okay, I need to make it flexible, but not so flexible that I can't maintain it.
yes.
Right? So
Yes.
there's always that in mind as well, that you want to reveal stuff, like you want to reveal all the functionality of your product, but you can't then have breaking changes, right? So you need to kind of step back and say, what am I revealing? What am I revealing to them? What am I exposing to the API client that thinks it's going to be using my API service? And that becomes the contract. So that's a breaking change if you change that contract. So you need to be kind of like, be careful. I always find it's good to provide anything that can be parameterized, or always like you would hard code as maybe a constant or something that becomes config. And then on top of that, add hook points. What I mean by hook points is places where functionality can be overridden. So the default implementation, it passes it through, but someone can override that implementation with their own, providing a hook point where they can adjust the behavior of the API service to meet their requirements. Because I know this for a fact that it's really annoying when you get to use like a package or a module, an API, or some sort of coding surface, and you can see that you can make it do what you want, but they've privatized things, so they've made things so it's out of your way. Now you have to kind of bend around backwards and corners to get to do what you wanted to do. Where if they just did it the way you needed it in the first place, you wouldn't have to do that. And that's kind of the annoying thing about using someone else's code, right? So the obviously the point there becomes, okay, do you fork it? Do you then patch it? Do you to maintain your own fork? Do you then push that patch back? Is it functionality now? Do I document it? I test it? Like there's a whole thing that goes around that. Anyway,
Well, I'd like to think, given the level of documentation and the kind of features that it has already, is that these guys clearly have experienced the pain points of Go Router and said, there's got to be a better way to do it now that we have Dart 3. And I like that people are thinking about that. Yeah.
I like this notion that you've got here's my model object that contains my config for my route. And here's how you represent that as a URL. And here's how I take that same URL representation and convey it back to my route stack, right?
Yeah, and this is where I'm saying you could have for different routes have different things that you look up before, throwing it at that route. Then,
But again, this is
because you
very
got full
much
control.
like everything you have to do here is synchronous. It then falls down to the page itself to do any asynchronous work. I think that
Mhm.
there's definitely a lot of the routers need to find a way where they can perform route navigation asynchronously and still have like that kind of loading state management aspect to it.
I think
And,
decode is async. I think because if you ask it to go to a string route, the
there's
response
no
from
there's
that
no there's no
is a
futures
future.
here.
Well, there's no futures in that particular code.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is in here you can't do a lookup, right? I mean, okay, maybe this is a bad thing because it's just a codec, right? But I'm just saying that.
Yeah, I think you can still do your asynchronous tricks. I think all of this is done in the context of a push or go,
The way you
and
the way
therefore
you
you've got time to you can do an async response to that.
the way this comes back to for me is let's say this example here where you've got
Yep.
confirm active, maybe that's the product details, push product details, right? 42 is the skew, right? So in this example, um, like even if I was on a category page which had product 42, that product model object exists in some sort of global state repository that my application has. And when the product detail page is loaded, it uses this key to go look it up in that repository, right? So there is still one object that both screens are using, but instead of passing the object directly over, it uses a third party to essentially map that with an ID. And I think that's always been the case just because of this problem, right? Where you don't want to have this kind of because then again, like you can go, okay, if this doesn't exist, on the product details page, you go download it, you have that asynchronous, you can have that as part of the repository, the backend function to your app. It just works.
Actually, what might be good at this point is for you to look at the GitHub repo because the example in the repo has 8 or 9 different styles of
It's
probably copied from
I
that Go Router
yeah,
repo.
I do want to say get your questions in, people. Like we're not here just to
Yep.
talk about this. This I was just talking about
Yes.
last week, and we're just filling time right now. So
Yeah.
if you've got anything you want to talk about, it doesn't have to be routing. We can talk about all sorts of things.
But if you could
Yeah.
pull up the GitHub for that, then we can there's another question in the queue, so we can start with that too. If you want to do that.
Yeah.
It's an AI question. Don't know whether we're going to defer this to the other show or not, but it's created a package on top of Dart MCP, which utilizes the DevTools properties. Could you please review the Flutter Agent Lens package? So it's a on the spot package review. If you're up for it, this is an AI related question.
Okay. So take a look here. Right on. Let's stick on the case thing. And we'll come back to this.
Okay, I will just hide it for now then. Okay.
So yeah, let's just have a quick flip through here for a second to see where we're at. What was I looking at? Was the subject type results from screen? Yeah. Mirror rows optional. Okay, so you can have a codec. Yeah. Okay, and then you pass that to the case of route information parser. Modules. Okay.
That's what I was talking about earlier, that a package can own its own part of the stack.
Package. The host mounts a top level route and composes your routing by config codec with modules. The module doesn't know what prefix the host will mount it. Yeah, so yeah. So this is so you can have like a subset of your app accessible on a particular path, like you would do any sort of URL or yeah.
Mm.
So checkout module contains all of the cart shipping confirmation, all those things. Checkout. You can still have your subclasses. So you have your initial stack, build page. And this was saying before, okay, so maybe I jumped ship here right a bit early, but this was saying before here because this was saying like, why not just have something like this, which is like A to B. Okay. Yeah, this works. Okay, hang on. So the three things, you've got your Euro handling, you've got your routes, and you've got your SID class. It's all sort of bound together, tightly coupled, type say. Okay, and then you can mount that module. Mount. What's that? So you got your checkout module module codec, which is this. I think checkout modules feels to me like what should be here. Adaptive layouts, master detail scaffold, casal absorbing page. Okay. Master detail flows, and then wide. Okay, so you can say, am I trying to go to a proper detail in the wide view, then show the master detail. Otherwise, just snap the page. Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I think there's some depth
Okay.
to this that you're not going to see immediately. I've been playing with it for a while.
So, it definitely looks very interesting. Search for analytics. And I've never liked. I don't know why the coaching thing is. Oh, there's some migration guides as well. That's nice. Case of lint. Oh, okay. That's cool. Missed it half now, but that's cool. Oh, so this isn't their links. Case of where rules. Maybe it is. I don't know why that's got recommended. Yes, this makes sense. You've got your case of lint, and then what things you want to apply from that lint package. And you've got an MPX skill as well.
That skills, that jingle, jingle, jingle.
And then the example. Yeah, which is what I was thinking. So this has got
yeah, I think they took the Go router examples and have translated it already for us, which is nice.
Oh, transitions. Okay, well.
There we go. Enhance.
Slide up page. So this is just your page. You create route, doing the route builder, override the transition builder, what you do normally, right? So this doesn't change what you do normally.
Yeah.
Fade page, then transition, and then stuff. Your screen to be content, blah blah blah. Okay, then we got the router, standard mapping, page wrapper. This would be just your page wrapper.
Sure.
Right. So this is okay. So this is taking the. I don't know what this page wrapper property is. Okay, so page wrapper. Okay, so we've got context is the brand. Oh, I see. Sorry, I missed that. I completely overlooked that. Not bad. So this is switching on a record of previous and route from context. So the previous don't care going to this route. You got a previous product going to a new product fade because you don't want it to. Sorry, switch back. Yeah. So what I missed. Sorry, I missed it. This was a record. So previous and route, and then you got so basically I don't care what the previous one is. I'm going to the screen. Here I'm going from one product to another product page. So I want it to fade. Whereas normally it'd be a material page route transition, right? Because you're going, you don't care about either, right? Okay, that's nice. And this just augments the routes of passing over the context key and child.
Yeah, it's important to keep in mind that that those aren't constructors on the left side of those matches. Those are type checks for that object. Yeah, they're not constructors. What did we do before Dart 3? Really?
Right. We use enums for everything.
Yep, enums, extended enums, all that sort of stuff.
What was that question?
The other question, there's a package and they're asking for a review of it. That's this right there. Flutter Agent Lens. I know nothing of this. I would be probably pointing Gemini at it and going, tell me about this package.
Okay. Oops. There we go. So it's an MCP server against AI systems to running Flutter applications.
Okay.
So it connects to the Dart VM servers and website to give AI tools direct access to the application state, performance layer, layout constraints, and console logs. This is interesting. I'm not sure I'd call it this though. That wasn't what came to mind when I read that name.
Right.
Interesting. I do like this idea. The spec profile to bug any application, so track which will be build frequencies, diagnose capture consoles, build sizes, look at heavy packages, validate app links, universal configurations, drive. Nice. Can it analyze the widget tree? Because I mean, anything you can do. Specifically say that here, check what you believe.
It's got debugger access, so whatever dev tools uses
sure.
to talk.
Well, this is my point. There's obviously exposure here. I understand what's taking place. Right? So passing over as an agent, and then you've got
there's tools.
Track rendering.
Yeah, get widget tree. Oh,
And see, that's nice. You can say select that widget for me. Select on it.
yeah. So it AI could debug a bad screen overflow or whatever. AI could finally solve the infinite and infinite problem.
See, this is what I'm saying about what we talked about earlier about AI versus Flutter. It's like AI with Flutter, you know?
Yep.
It's super powerful. I like it. I'm gonna say that like definitely need to definitely needs to be really easy to connect and get set up. Obviously, I've tried that. I'm going to try wrapping up, but that would be my definite pushback on how it behaves. It's straightforward in terms of dependencies. So let's go and take a look at that. Yep, start server, wait, it seems done. Exit. Yep. You can, by the way, change this to in and return 0. Just let you know. Might as well just, I mean, the example. I appreciate you've done the example probably for the pub points. It should probably be more of a here's how you here's the commands, here's the example you see the command, or maybe interact with it. Documentation. Where's all those lovely comments?
AI explained it all to you.
Yeah. Interesting.
Full definitions for AI. PowerShell.
Yeah, well, this
Well,
is a bit what it's from
Windows.
PowerShell. No, I was thinking about like. Yeah, I did that. That's fine.
Presume it has non-Windows definitions for everything it has Windows for.
Oh yeah. So what this is doing here, this is trying to locate the current VM service URL that's active from the Dart daemon, and then essentially connecting up to that. Have you tried running? I'm kind of curious if the creator, who was it the creator in the chat, or was that someone else?
I think it was just somebody else. I can pull it back up here. There. It was driven something like that.
No, it's him. It's him. No,
yeah. Oh, it's the creator. Oh, no wonder. That's why you're asking for it reviewed.
That's fine. I wonder what happens if you've got multiple debug sessions running. You should definitely work at that because there's many apps where you're maybe you got different devices like a tablet and a phone, and you're trying to like hot reload on both and see what it looks like stuff like that, quite common. So you want to make sure that this whole thing knows about multiple devices and then how to connect to the right VM session for the device. Just saying. And then for the non-Windows, obviously we've got it going through PSAUX, getting the command line parameters, or whatever in this case going through standard out, and then looking for the command line parameters given to that process. There's actually a better way to do this as well. So once you get your list the processes for list. Sorry, you want to find a particular process with a certain name, i.e., Dart processes. Then you want to look up the you can look up the command line for that particular process. Because the thing is, right now, other processes can use this pattern. I mean, this is not the way to do, especially the PID pattern as well. Get the proper PID. You can literally list the processes. There's APIs for doing that. Yeah, running. Yeah. Yeah, so there you go. Look, this is actually, sorry, I may have skipped a bit here, but this is listing getting the command line for the particular process, right? To get where the project is, to probe it, to do.
Interesting seeing LSOF, because I have been playing with Unix long before LSOF existed.
I thought there was a proper discovery piece around this that's offered up by the SDK. I'm assuming you've gone and looked because of this, or did you just come up with this yourself? I feel like I think you should go speak to. Oh no, what's his name? Hang on. But go get shot by firing squad. Oh my god. Yeah. I feel really bad now. Just names. No one name just drops off your mind.
I hear you. I'm losing track sometimes too.
I've got to find it now.
Uh-huh.
Norbert.
Oh, yes, Norbert.
Norbert Kossier. You'll find him on like social media stuff. He's done a lot. He did Detective and some other products that I can't remember what the website address is now. Yeah, detective.dev. Let me switch to show you this. Real-time state inspection, right? So this is actually a way of analyzing. This again uses the Dart VM service, and it allows you to explore and analyze and change parameters of any widget on the fly. Yeah. So reach out to Norbert, because he's got a lot of experience with interacting with that, and I think you might find that he's got some quite nice stable code. He's got quite a few products on now. Let me pop that link in. If anyone that looks interesting, I'll pop it in the chat, and then I'll also pop in his GitHub, and then find him. I'm sure on social medias, email him or whatever.
I got the URL detected.detective. That would have been cool. Probably expensive.
Okay, so we've got port discovery, path and so on. Sure, stuff. These path packages are correct usage. Okay, then we've got each one of those command, each one of the tools. Okay, so we're doing mixings. So spec widget, for example, this function gets those arguments. Kind of feels to me like I want like this. Don't get me wrong, I get this like layout. I almost want it to be like a tool object that has these parameters up to it, but also has the functions. So it's a bit. Maybe that's that function. I don't use the diagram piece. I don't know. I guess it's a function from that. It's a bit weird that they're segregated and then accessed via their. I mean, these names. These names could be. These names could say like this kind of. using enum. That's another thing, right? Yeah. But I pick it. Really.
Yeah, there's a couple strategies to designing tools. You can either make like 1 or 2 primary tools that have a lot of options, or you can make 20 primary tools that don't need as much decoding of the options. So different MCPs have gone opposite ways. And I think there's even one, I was looking at one for some tool that I'm using, probably DaVinci Resolve, where you can ask it for either the way that pollutes all of your tools and makes it really expensive in your header, or you could just give it the one tool and have it figure out the subtools from there. So that's it's available in both ways for people using that tool. I think it was Firebase Studio, not Firebase, DaVinci Resolve. Either that or the Blender one. I've been looking at a lot of tools. And yes, Lane, I keep talking about me being in my secret underground lair. Look at that. Now I actually have a picture of it. No Crater Lake back there. Not at all.
Yeah, I would definitely just maybe put out some specific particular names into like enum or some place where they group together, so you have like you have to track them down. I mean, it looks nice. I think it could be a positive. I think, giving access to more of the app development environment to an AI, especially if you're developing an AI, it's a bonus. Yeah, there you go.
And we don't have any more questions yet, so or even suggestions for coding. Oh, that's cool. I just went to Google search, which has AI mode, and it now knows how to talk to GitHub repos directly. Interesting. So I was able to review this package just with a quick query in AI search. Nice.
Well, I mean, we can always do a short show.
Yeah. Yeah, I got nothing. I got nothing else. So yeah. Let's see. No, Lane, I like this new one, especially if you look real closely. I think what is it over here? Right there. There's actually my name, and on a name tag, and then Google Developer Expert or something like that, and GDT, which doesn't make any sense, but it's on. Wait, Stonehenge is over. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to ask questions quickly.
Yes, ask questions quickly. Yes, we're about to wrap because there's not much else to go, and
I mean, if there's nothing else going on, I'm running on empty at the moment.
I will talk about a project I'm working on though, because and maybe you can give me ideas on that. I know that block is a pattern, and the typical one we use with Flutter is based on using provider for the injections. So provider sort of at the core of what block is doing. I'm interested in building something that implements block, but uses signals as the primary carrier rather than streams, and essentially implement all of block. So you could take a application with a bunch of people that have all been understand how block works and drop signals in there and have signals for the interface to any of the other data types that want synchronous or asynchronous behavior. I thought that might be interesting.
I wonder if you could use, so the other way that we do tests, you could say just implement this class, right? Yeah. I wonder if you could you could base your thing off qubit and say implements qubit, and that way you can have your underlying implementation be done with signals.
I think it already did that. I've already asked it. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
then my point here is if you attempt to match the qubit into class, then anywhere existing code uses block qubit, they can just be switched out with your implementation of signals.
Yeah.
That's not the point, though, right?
No, I like it though, because it also means that I'm complying with the core the core protocol, which I do want this to be a drop-in replacement for provider, or for block using provider. There's already a RiverPod block that has been maintained, but it's still there in the ecosystem. But I wanted to use signals because then the propagation of signals consuming other signals has a different pattern than streams consuming other streams. And you don't have to have that extra microstep every time to get things rippled forward. And so it might actually be faster and lighter weight to do this, that's part of the reason I want to explore it. Also, I'm tired of people saying, well, you can't do anything interesting with signals. You're just a wrapper class, and I want like the rigidity of block. Well, great. I'll give it to you. You can have block signal. But then, and this is where last week's show comes in a little bit, is that I then said, oh, wait, I want to provide an example of how to use this. So I want to build a Keisel switching demo that uses block signal to show off all three technologies working together. I think that could actually be useful. Maybe we could build it together on the show here.
Definitely want to give some time to the packages.
Yeah, not starting today. I'll wait till you can have a week to go study Keisel or something, and we can do that again. We have a question about signals. So the key thing about 7 is that Rody has been building up in his head for about a year since he released V6, things to do differently. And this is the result of his nights and weekends over the last month or so since I/O. And there it is, breaking changes right. Let's look at this.
Oh, it's something to separate by name parameter. It's a positional function. Okay, yeah, nice.
I think one of the key things is that instead of using the signals mix in, there's now a stateless signal widget and a stateful signal widget. It's gone kind of the RiverPod route, which needed to go that way too. But the nice thing is you don't have to register your disposes when you do that. You don't have to use a separate thing called create signal to both register it as a signal and also register it for disposal at the end of the block. It looks a little bit simpler, like it's fewer chances to shoot yourself in the foot because it's more restricted.
Signal listener was solid, so that's nice.
Right.
So yeah, you can have things. Some custom paint conversion option to signal widget on stateless widget. Okay. And to signal stateful widget on stateful widget. Upgrade the stateful widgets.
Yeah.
Okay. There's something. Okay, fine. Yes, these watch stuff is actually because okay, yeah. So use the signal builder instead of watch builder. There was I'm trying to remember what it was now. I remember a change that went in because I was trying to use one of the widgets previously, and it was built upon the wrong base type. trying to remember what it was now. I swear I saw it in the replay somewhere.
Oh, there were some weird superclassing problems in the Flutter additional signal features, and he's fixed
Well,
that. He said he's
yeah.
turned it upside down or something to make it work better.
All I remember was
Yeah.
I know he fixed it, and I was like, "That's brilliant," because that was actually something that was irking me.
Yeah.
Now, of course, when I want to see it, I can't find it. Oh no, here it is. Here it is. Yeah, decouple generalization. So simply provide a decouple from Flutter read-only signal, which implements listenable, and zeros accept any standard core read-only signal. This is a big thing for me because you have signals that are not built for the Flutter package, they're a Dart only package, in which case it's read-only signal, but you couldn't use them with signal provider. You had to use a Flutter read-only signal, which meant you'd have to kind of like make an extra signal for no apparent reason. So that was really nice decoupling.
Yeah. That's what I say. He's been thinking about this stuff for a long time, including the sideways packages when he added Flutter signals. And so, so definitely this is a much stronger base to move forward on. This is probably why it's about time for me to do the block signals package with the Kaizel router demo.
Has he also done signals as well?
See, I've already broken my cherry in that I've got a package in Pub finally. So now I can start putting more stuff in Pub. Does signals have a skill? Yes, there's a whole section. There's a whole section of it there.
Late signal.
There's skills. It's at the top level directory of the GitHub repo, which means it's installable with npx skills. And that's actually listed on the README somewhere towards the bottom of how do you get the skills for this, if I remember right, or somewhere in the pub. But yeah, so I'm sort of in the background developing this, and by developing the Kaizel router stuff as the example for the package for block signals, it'll also be a good internal customer to make sure that block signal has all the right features for a typical application. So it'll be an interesting progress on both fronts at the same time will cause it to be stronger. Cool. Yeah. So like I need more things to fill my nights and weekends, but it's definitely there. It's AI related, so it's exciting. The other thing that's been AI related for me for the last week is I'm fleshing out my new website, which is all done in Dart and Jasper, by the way, and has all my 255 magazine articles in Perl converted from Pod to Jasper components by handwritten code in Dart that Jim and I wrote for me. So I didn't even go through the intermediate step of converting it all to Markdown, which I thought I'd have to do. And so it goes directly from Pod to components. Slick stuff. And what I was trying to get to was that I'm also fleshing out my life story bio stuff as a giant linked wiki style thing. Under the hood, I'm actually using Logseek, which is similar to Obsidian, and editing files that way. And been fleshing that out. So if you go to stonehenge.com/Merlin/life, you'll see that. I'll put that in the chat. And that's probably all I wanted to do. Let's see here. Stonehenge. I can't even type Stonehenge today. Yep, got extra letters in.
This heat that we've been having is definitely intolerable.
There we go. I think, did I miss something? No, that's clickable, right? Yes. Okay. Anyway, not seeing any more questions coming in. Do you have to use npx to install signals? No, that's to install the skills for signals.
Skills always have to be the skills package is an npm package, right? So
yeah,
use NPX to run skills.
Yep. Yeah. So I just type NPX. It's I know behind the scenes I'm using Ruby and all the other things I
It
don't like,
doesn't.
but whatever.
I mean, here's a good thing, Lucas. If you want to go make yourself and make the community a skills pub package that does
Yes.
exactly the same thing as the NPM package, I'm sure everyone in the Dart world is going to be doing Dart Pub Global Activate Skills and using that instead.
Yes. Yes.
So
You'll be the guy. You'll be the guy. It's true. It shouldn't be hard because skills.sh has all the descriptions
Guess
of all
what?
that.
Apparently there is one. I say that.
What? Really?
What?
Pull it
Yeah.
up. Pull it up. Pull it up. I'm going to be installing that soon.
What's this?
Wow. 14 days ago.
Server pod CLI that brings AI agent skills from your Dart Flutter package to make it interactive. Is this what we got? Yeah, Dart skills. Skills get activate skills. This prim remove. Does this? I don't know if this
look
uses
at
the same.
that. Oh, that's awesome. I need that. I'm installing this right away. Oh, look at that. Yes, they've got the same API. They've got the same API. Beautiful. Beautiful. Lucas, you lazy. Kind of hoping someone will do it for me. Well, there you go. Done. We deliver the show, but we deliver searches.
So, yeah, I'm assuming it's.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got agent skill. Yes, it's because you got to stand. Yeah, the agent skill specification.
Right.
Okay. I'm trying to remember what is the like. You say that there's a skill. Where was that skill you mentioned? Signals. That's not one. You're saying that there's a skill that you can install. Just say it was in the top of the repo.
For signals.
Yeah.
And there's also skills for Kaisel, so you can install that one too.
I'm just trying to remember how, like what the. Could you specify? They have to go on GitHub. You have to specify the repo and like the kind of register skill. Oh yeah, AI development skills. Sorry, it's kind of great. Yeah. So hang on. Let me go back to this screen share here. Oh, I am. Yeah. So Rory's README is like this NPX skills add this, right? So this is basically where it's going to find the skills directory which contains the skills, and that's exactly how I'm assuming that's exactly how the skills package and Dart works, right? Look here. It doesn't say it has an add, right? So that's what I'm just trying to get. It's all dependencies. This stores through GitHub registries. Here we go. Oh, okay. So this actually only uses these two skills registries. Is that what it's suggesting? Yes. So you got the.
Yeah, there's the Dart skills and Flutter skills in the two repos as well. Yes.
Yeah, but what? So no, but what I'm trying to understand here is like, surely this could do add, and then you just choose like in Rody's example. You're just saying add, and then this directory, and then this is going to go and find the skills directory in this repo.
Yes.
And find all of these. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't still spec out. I don't know. Not my. Go have a look. Try it out. Have fun.
Yep. Nice. All right. We've discovered that.
Right.
All right. Hopefully, I have some progress to show on my not skills, my block, signal, Kaisel, Brundle pod.
Grundlepod. That's what you should call it, Grundlepod.
No, Brundlepod was the name. That was
Grundlepod's there from the Fly.
from the Fly. Yeah, from the modern version of the Fly. I grew up with the old version of the Fly.
Oh, yeah. I don't call that the modern one. The 1980s one is the old one to me.
Really? Oh, is there another one since?
Yeah, I think there is. I think there might have been one.
No. Why do they keep remaking the same movie over and over again? That's just silly.
Because each they want to produce a new,
New revenue streams.
I feel like there is one. Hang on, maybe I'm missing.
No.
Fly 1986. So the Fly 1986 one is
That's the Brundle Fly.
Yeah. But in 1957 was the original.
Yes.
1958 filmed the same way.
Okay.
Wow. Anyway,
and,
right.
Dave and the dude.
Oh, thank you for joining us, everyone.
Yeah.
And come back with your questions and coding ideas, and we'll do another little podcasty thing next week.
Like and subscribe. It helps us for visibility. Write a comment because it also helps for visibility, apparently.
Comment, subscribe is the usual thing. So just give us all the things. Press all the buttons. Do all the stuff.
Press all the buttons. Yes.
Share the YouTube video. Like you can go like you scrub back in the timeline and press share with the exact time code to either make a fool of ourselves or answer your question. You can post on social media. It's brilliant.
Yeah. Yes. Remix. You can remix with your phone. Yes.
Yeah.
Actually,
I'm an old man now. I need to take naps.
And I'm about to head out for lunch. Out that little window right there. I'm going out that window to get to lunch.
Crawling out the window.
That's right.
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 Anyway, all right. Thanks, everyone.
Cheers.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you same time, same place next week. All right.
Yep.